Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to week 8 of our art class. I'm really excited to see you today, and let's review what we started last week. So we were talking about the most famous abstract expressionist artist probably in the history of the world, Jackson Pollock. And he innovated, or he came up with this idea that he was going to express himself and his emotions, whatever he was feeling, through his artwork, and not just by painting with a brush or using crayons or markers like we are, but by using the paint in a specific way, in using his motions. I guess his emotions, right, his feelings, drove his motion with the paint. And so he decided that he was going to throw the paint onto the canvas or onto his surface to create his abstract artwork. Now, this piece of artwork is abstract and it's non-representational. You say non-representational. Excellent. That just means that it's not trying to show something. It's not representing something, right? So we have two kinds of abstract art. One is non-representational and the other is representational, meaning it can try to give the idea of it being something, like an instrument. This one was the saxophone, and this one over here was the violin, right? So they don't look exactly like what the instruments truly look like, but it's representational. It's still abstract. You can turn it around any which way, and you can find and see other images, right? If you let your imagination run, it could look like a person. It might look like a slide, right? And it's upside down and it doesn't matter, right? Abstract art, you can spin around any which way that you like and it can never be wrong, right? Because the beautiful part of abstract art is that everyone is different. And so everyone's view is going to be different as well. And that means that everybody would see something different in each piece of artwork. So what you had a choice to do last week was to hand dance with me, and I hope that you enjoyed that. And while we were hand dancing, we were making a scribble. Now, you either made a controlled scribble. I know I'm giving you a lot of information, but you'll get it. You're super smart. A controlled scribble is when you control your lines, right? And the purpose of the lesson was to utilize or use line and transform the line into shapes, okay? So you were either controlling your scribbling and making it slowly, or you were creating an uncontrolled scribble where you just went like this all over the page. It's still creating shapes, right? It's still enclosing spaces, but it looks a little more out of control, right? So this one is more controlled and this one is not. And so whatever you chose to do, now you have this piece. Or maybe you chose, some of you chose to do more than one piece, and then you decide which one you like better, which one you would like to complete better, or you would like to see in color, okay? And so I have this piece right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you on this paper that I told you you could choose. You could do it in pencil, or you could do it right in marker or crayon if you had it. And I just wanted to show you that if I made a line and a scribble, right? So I'm taking a line, curved line. Watch me carefully. A curved line, a zigzag line, maybe a straight line. And as I'm crossing over the lines, I am creating shapes. If I'm controlling my scribble, then I can make shapes like a circle. I can make shapes like a square. If I don't keep so much control, then I'm going to create the other family of shapes, which is what? Two families of shapes. Circles and squares are geometric, and the other family is what? Good. If you said biomorphic, then you're correct. Biomorphic shapes that have no names, that are found in nature, right? And now I wanted to show you, because I got some of your artwork back and it looks fantastic, but I just wanted to show you the difference. If you chose not to trace your lines in marker, then this is kind of what you get. You're coloring and you're trying to color all of these wonderful shapes, but as you color one shape next to the other, you start to lose that shape. You have all the shapes next to one another, like this. And now some of these shapes don't stand out as much as these, or this one, or these. And this I did on a piece of construction paper, and I was able to use oil pastel. You could use crayon. It doesn't matter what you do it on or what material you do it with, but I just wanted to show you that if you do trace in marker first, no matter what color it is, you will have you will be able to see your shapes much, much better and clearer. And so it's your choice. You can continue to do it how you're doing it, or if you didn't like your piece, you could certainly start over. But what I wanted you to do today was to add some color. And you can add whatever colors you want. You don't have to choose any specific color family. You don't have to choose cool or warm colors, although you could if you'd like. But I want you to trace your lines if you want your shapes and lines to stand out. If you choose not to, then this is what it will look like, and that's fine as well. But I like my shapes and lines to pop and to stand out, so I usually choose to trace. But I don't have to have every single shape colored in, but I'm gonna choose the interesting ones, right? So whatever shape I feel is important, or I like it, or that it could be viewed as something else, then I'm gonna choose to color those. There are some really interesting shapes within your lines as well. This is a green line. It's very thin in line quality. This is a black line. It's kind of medium in line quality, but all of this white space in between, it is an enclosed space, and therefore it is transformed into a shape, right? And which family of shapes does it belong to? Very good. If you said biomorphic again, you're correct. So I'm just going to color my biomorphic shape here. And then this is how we start to create our abstract piece, where someone else can view it and say, oh, you know what? That looks like a dinosaur. Or this looks like a sea creature. I don't know, whatever it might be. And then the more color you add into these shapes, then you can spin the piece around and discover new images or new objects, right? So you can have a whole lot of fun with this piece, boys and girls, And you can certainly listen to whatever kind of music you'd like if you would like to listen to music as you work. Some people don't like to listen to music as they work, but other people do. So I just wanted to let you know that this is your artwork and this is your time to be creative and get away from everyone and everything else and find a nice quiet spot for yourself to be the best artist you can be, right? And I think that this is going to look really cool. I also wanted to show you that you don't only have to color with crayons or markers the right way. Now, what does that mean, the right way? Well, that means that when we hold a crayon or we hold a marker, we usually hold it upright like this, and we try to stay within our lines, right? And we try to fill in all of our white spaces. And why is that? Why do I always tell you fill in all the white spaces, color in one direction? No, I don't do it to be annoying, although I know it does come across that way sometimes. No, it's because the more color you add, the more full of color you make that shape, the more colorful it will be, right? If you leave a lot of white spaces in between, that takes away from that shape. That doesn't allow that shape to be who it's gonna be, right? Even though it's not. Okay, we're just pretending. So I'm coloring in, but what I was telling you before is that you don't always have to use the material the right way. And what I mean by that is that if you look here, Jackson Pollock has a lot of yellow, right, in the background. And so if I wanted to, I have a broken yellow, and I told you I always keep my broken crayons just for this reason. I peel the paper off, and now I can take all of this space here and I can rub it. And rubbing is a very fast way to add color. So if you're looking at your piece and you're going, oh, Miss Petrelli likes when I fill the whole page with color and it's gonna take me so long and I have so many other subjects to do homework for, well, guess what? This is a nice, easy, fast way and fun to add a lot of color in a very short amount of time. Okay? So that's one thing that you can do. You can rub the broken crayon, but you can also make a rubbing, which, let's show you what that is. Let me choose a dark color. Okay, that is broken. Okay, and here it is. So here's a broken purple. And I'm going to peel the paper off, and let me see. Boy, this paper's on really, really well. Oh my goodness. I can't do it. Uh-oh. All right, well, I guess I won't be able to use the purple. All right, well, I can't use that purple. So, let's see, here's a blue. Broken blue. Okay. And now I'm peeling the paper. And what I was gonna say is, if you have anything to slip underneath your paper, you can make a rubbing that's going to show a visual texture. Now, the actual texture would be that this pad of paper is smooth, right? But it has an edge. And so if I take this pad of paper and I put it underneath my drawing, then I take my broken crayon, and I know that a lot of you have already discovered this and done this for many years. But for some of you, it might be something new. It might be a new technique and you can have a discovery, right? And that's fun to do. So I'm gonna take my broken crayon, I'm going to lay it flat So I'm not holding it the right way, right? I'm laying it flat, and then I'm going to rub, and look what happens. Now, you see the edge or the corner of that pad of paper. Now I can shift it. I can move it around and make another one. And that just makes my background super interesting. Do you see that? Right. Let's try it again. Let's put it over here. I'm gonna move my pad around. And all I'm going to do is color in my empty space. If I wanted to go into my guitar, I could, but I don't want to do that. So just by rubbing like that, do you see how the edge of the pad shows up? It's pretty cool, right? So I can take this purple that wouldn't peel, or that I couldn't get to work in one way, and I can color in my guitar. So I just want you to see all of the possibilities and the choices that you have to make in your own artwork, boys and girls, because it's your piece. And you can obviously make it look like whatever you want, whatever makes you happy to do. And it depends. If you put more time and effort into your work, your result is going to be better, right? If you study math and do many, many math problems, you're going to be better at it than somebody who doesn't put a lot of time and effort into it, right? Right. So everything is like that in life. And if you choose to take your time and color in one direction and fill in the white spaces, then you can be super, super duper proud of yourself because you know that you have done your very best. And that's what we should always do with everything that we do. Right? Right. So I am very excited to see your work, and I did notice that many of you did it in pencil. And so if you would like to today, start your artwork by tracing in a marker or an oil pastel or a crayon or whatever material you have at home. You can certainly go back into your piece and trace. And you don't even have to trace all of the lines. You can just choose whichever lines you want to choose, or maybe you just want to highlight or make stand out certain shapes, right? So maybe your line is left in pencil, but some of your shapes that you like, that you discovered, maybe you want to make those stand out and color them in. I don't know. I have no idea what you want to do. But I like to give you lots of choices of things that you can do with your artwork, right? So that you can make the best decision about your piece that you can. And over here, I think I'm going to add some orange. So your abstract expressionistic pieces are so fabulous already that I'm really excited to see how they turn out. And like I said, just take your time. Take your time, do your best, so that you can be very proud of everything that you do. Maybe I have these little triangles over here that I want to stand out. Maybe, right? And also think about complementary colors, right? The colors that are across from one another on the color wheel, since you're adding color, those colors make each other look their best. So since this piece is blue, maybe I'm going to add orange to these shapes so that it will complement the blue. And purple and yellow are complements, and green and red, even though this is more of a pink, complement one another. So blue complements, that's right, orange. So maybe I'm gonna take the orange and I'm going to rub again. I do like rubbing. Okay, maybe, do I have a broken orange? I have a broken orange-ish. All right, let's see. Maybe I'm gonna stick this here. And again, oh, this is like a neon pink. Again, I'm going to rub. And look what happens. And you can pick anything to rub. You can pick a quarter. You can pick, let's see, it has to be something a little bit flat. It could be a quarter, a penny, a pad of paper, a paper plate, right? A paper plate with those bumpy ridges on the end, on the edge of it. But I just wanted to show you that you have many, many options and possibilities within your artwork. So get super creative, have lots of fun, and I can't wait to see your Jackson Pollock inspired abstract expressionistic piece, okay? So thank you so much for joining me today, boys and girls. I was really happy to be with you again, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.